So today I'm going to be telling you guys my birth story. So as I mentioned in my previous video, I got induced. I actually got induced at 36 weeks, and the reason was because I had preeclampsia, which is basically I had high blood pressure my whole pregnancy, and if your feet get swollen and you kind of overall get kind of puffy, I was overall swollen. So because of that, and more than anything because I had high blood pressure my whole towards the end of my pregnancy, they said that I had to get induced. So I went in Friday for a regular checkup, and of course they checked my blood pressure and they said it was high, so they said that I had to get admitted. So I go in, and at first once I went in, they were checking me and they were like, okay, so you need to, they basically checked how far I was dilated, if anything, and I believe I was only one dilated, not even that, honestly. So they checked me and nothing, of course, because I was 36 weeks. It was still not my time for me to be giving birth. So, of course, I got admitted. I sat there. They gave me, what did they give me? They gave me, I believe, Pitocin. I believe that's what they started me off. If not, I think they actually started me off with some pills first. They started me with some pills just to like open up my cervix. So they had me on that, and then eventually they gave me Pitocin to induce me, to make it open quicker because nothing was really happening. So they did that. I was there, nothing was happening. I was just uncomfortable. So that was Friday. All Friday, nothing happened. Saturday, nothing happened. And I had just my family members there checking on me. And it was honestly really annoying because since I went in, they plugged me in. They had to monitor the baby and me at the same time. So I couldn't move at all. I couldn't do anything, honestly. I just had to sit there. Or not even sit there, lay there, which was even a little worse. So I was just laying there the whole time, on the bed, rolling around. I would switch to one side, switch to another, go to the bathroom. Even to go to the bathroom was honestly such a hassle because I was plugged in on my stomach, so the baby could get monitored, the baby's blood pressure. So then whenever I would unplug, I would have to call the nurse to come unplug me or try to do it myself. But then sometimes I would mess up how they had me connected. So I would actually have to wait for them to come back and fix me. So I felt kind of like I was bugging them, which, I mean, they're nurses, so they're supposed to help you, but I just felt bad. So I would go to the restroom. That was honestly like the only time I would get to walk around. So I was just stuck on my bed. But yeah, nothing happened. Nothing happened Friday, Saturday, until Sunday. Sunday at around 12 is when I started feeling more uncomfortable. I started feeling like some pressure. So something was actually beginning to happen. I was like, oh, I was like, no, like, I don't want to do this. Like, I was scared because, everyone tells you like what giving birth is and that it's like the most painful thing ever. So I was really scared to go through it. So at 12, my water broke. So yeah, my water broke, and it broke at around 12. And from there, it was just downhill, honestly. Like, it was such a hard, undescribable pain. But I think I was getting up, honestly. I think I was going to the restroom. I was going to the restroom and I just felt a like bunch of water just squirt out, like if you peed yourself, but no, like you knew something happened. Like it was like a like of water just dripping down, and I was like, oh no. I was like, what just happened? And yeah, my water broke, and from there the contractions just started coming in like back to back, and it was just horrible, honestly. Like there's no pain that I can really compare it to. I don't know what to say, what to compare it to. It was such a strong pain. They just kept getting worse and worse. I never actually experienced Braxton Hicks. I know a couple of my friends did, but I never got it. So nothing really ever prepared me for contractions. So once I started feeling them, I was like, no, like I don't want to do this. Like someone help me. Like, like do I really have to do this? Like, although I knew that like I had to. Like I was already there. My baby had to come out one way or another. And also I was very scared to end up getting a C-section. Like I was very traumatized because my sister had gotten 2 C-sections. And actually now she had 3. She has 3 kids. And I just like the whole process getting cut, just the thought of getting cut open really scared me. So I didn't really want to go through with that. That didn't really call my attention. Like I was just like, no, like anything to prevent that. I was willing to do anything. So yeah, it was just an intense pain. Everything was not helping me. I remember in the shower, my godmother and my sister, they gave them lavender wipes, like to go on your back, like to put them on your back while you're taking a shower, and that taking a hot shower was gonna help. So they were putting lavender wipes down my back and like massaging me, and I was like, no. I was like, that's not doing it. But yeah, so like they were doing everything. I mean, I know they were just trying to help me, but in the moment, like I was like, that is not doing anything. It's not helping me. I was like that's not doing nothing. Like I was having a full-on meltdown while in labor. I was like, that's not doing nothing, guys. I was like, it was horrible. So they were trying to do everything to help me, but it wasn't helping me. And then finally, it got to a point that I was not even able to talk anymore. I was just yelling. I was yelling and screaming and crying. Like, I don't really want to scare you guys. Like, if you're pregnant, like, I'm sorry, but this is really my experience. My first labor was honestly horrible. It traumatized me. I had so much pain on my it was on my back and my stomach at the same time. Like, I don't know if that was back labor. I was just in excruciating pain. Like nothing could soothe me. They were giving me, I think, medicine and just through the IV, and that did nothing. So it got to the point that, and I was really my family had always told me not to get the epidural, that I do everything you can not to get the epidural. So I was really like against it, and like right when I went in, I told him, I don't want the epidural. Don't give me the epidural. Don't offer me the epidural. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I can do it. I have a high tolerance for pain. Like, this is not, I will be fine. Little did I know that I was gonna die. So I ended up, of course, once I was to the point that I could not handle it anymore, I was yelling, I was screaming. It got horrible. And I remember I turned and looked at my godmother and was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm sorry, but I need it. I was like, I can't, like there's no way. And especially because I asked the lady, I remember she checked me and she said I was 5 something dilated, like almost 6 dilated. And she said that there was still a lot more to go, and she told me that she was not going to come back and check me until like another 5-6 hours. And mind you, I was already screaming in pain, like dying, like I don't even, there's no way to describe that pain. And she said she wouldn't come back for another 6 hours, and I was going to be in this pain for another 6 hours. So I was like, no. I was like, nope. I was like, give me the epidural. So I was really scared to get the epidural, and more than anything, I think I was more scared to get the epidural at that moment, just because I couldn't stay still. I was in so much pain that I was rocking back and forth like this, and like just holding myself. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know why I was doing that, thinking that would help me, but that's what I was doing. I was just trying to cope with the pain one way or another. So I couldn't stay still, and the lady kept telling me, you have to stay still. So I just, as much as I tried to, I forced myself to stay still. For the moment she told me I had to, I stayed still. And she put the epidural. As soon as I got the epidural, it took probably like another 5-10 minutes for it to fully kick in. And yeah, I went completely numb. Like numb. I couldn't feel nothing. It was, I honestly think they gave me too much epidural. But I mean, it helped me because I didn't feel anything. But I was completely numb. I couldn't feel my legs at all. Which also made me get frustrated because I couldn't move, and I like to be in control. So I couldn't move left or right. I was just stuck, and I would ask for them to help me. And I mean, I was really frustrated. Me in labor was not a nice me. So I would ask for them to flip me, to fix me how I wanted, and then I would just get more frustrated because they wouldn't fix me how I wanted to be, and I couldn't fix myself. Like, there was no way that I could fix myself how I needed to be fixed. So I would have flipped one way, flipped other, and I was just so uncomfortable because I couldn't get to the point that I wanted to be. But I wasn't even in pain. As soon as I got the epidural, everything was chill. I couldn't go to sleep because I can't really go to sleep, especially knowing everything that was going on. Like, there was no way I was gonna go to sleep. But everything like calmed down. Like, I was just there, just monitoring, keep watching. And I mean, mind you, also I couldn't go to sleep because I was all plugged in. My stomach and everything was getting monitored, so not much I could do. And then I would just go to my little bathroom breaks and come back. I couldn't even go like walking around the hospital. You know how some people go walking around the hospital? I couldn't do that because I had to be plugged in. I couldn't do anything. And yeah, so after that, it didn't really get intense until around 12 a.m. Yeah, 12 a.m. That's funny, actually, for both my pregnancies, I was around 12 a.m. So around 12 a.m. I started to feel something, and they checked me, and yeah, I was a lot more dilated. So actually at 3 a.m. was when, yeah, 3 a.m. was when my daughter was born. So once I actually had to push, I felt the pressure, and I felt my stomach kind of like cramping, like coming and then letting go, cramping and then letting go. And I felt when I had to push, like I felt some sensation, but I didn't have as much like strength to actually, not strength, but I felt like I would push, and I felt like it didn't really do anything, but it was doing something because they were saying I just had to push more. I don't believe I pushed for that long, honestly. I think I pushed for like an hour or less with my daughter. So it wasn't that bad. But yeah, I was pushing and pushing. Although I didn't really feel much. And then I was getting frustrated because she wasn't coming out. And then they were telling me, like, you need to push because we're going to do an emergency C-section. Do you want an emergency C-section? And I was like, no. And they were like, well, if you're not doing anything, that's going to happen. And also, before I got the epidural, I hadn't ate because I was already feeling nauseous, and I just was not hungry at all. So after they gave me the epidural, I was starving. Like, I was so hungry, and I kept asking for food, and and they wouldn't give me food because they said I had already got the epidural, so I had to stick it out. I couldn't eat until I actually gave labor. I actually had the baby. So yeah, I was starving, so I kept asking the nurses, begging them for food, and they said, nope, you're not getting no food. So yeah, I didn't get food. So it was funny because once I actually gave birth, the first thing they did is to bring me food and said, here's your food. But yeah, so I was pushing and pushing and just getting frustrated, and everyone was like, come on, Joanna, you got this. Like i had like 5 or 6, 7 people in my delivery room. I had a lot of people. I don't know, some people say that's weird because, you know, you're getting watched, but honestly, I did not care who was in there, what was showing. Like I did not care. I don't even remember who exactly was in there, honestly. I was just in so much pain that nothing mattered. I just was there focusing on my daughter. That's it. So I pushed, and finally, she came out. I remember the first thing my husband said is, oh my God, I see it. As she was coming out, he was like, oh my God, I see it. I see her. I see a bunch of hair. I see a bunch of hair. And I was just like, is that my hair? Or TMI? But yeah, he was like, I see the hair, so much hair. And so that kind of gave me like the strength I needed to keep pushing. Like it made me push so much harder because I knew that her head was already there, and like I didn't want her to get stuck. So I pushed and pushed, and she came out. And I remember they put her on me, and honestly, like, I know they always say that and it sounds so, I don't know, but it's honestly like the best feeling in the world. Like there's nothing that compares to that. When they lay your kid on you for the first time, it is everything and more. You don't really understand that, and you won't understand that until you actually have your own. When they laid her on me, it was everything. It literally took all the pain away. Everything was worth it. I would do it all over again just to have her. Like, I don't care if I was dying. It was all worth it. Like, once they put her on me. So they put her on me, and they laid her like chest to chest, like to bond, skin to skin. That's what it's called. And then they right away told me to try to feed her. So I was trying, but that was another thing that you're not ready for, because I wanted to breastfeed, so I was trying, and I was struggling because she wouldn't latch. She wouldn't latch right. I had a lot of issues with her latching. But she finally she latched, but throughout the whole hospital experience, I struggled so much with her latching. I just feel like my thing's too small, so she couldn't really latch, if that makes any sense. And they even tried to give me like a nipple cover to make it easier, but it didn't really do anything. I was struggling. But I stuck it out, and I kept trying. The whole time I was in the hospital. I breastfed her. But yeah, honestly, just her in my arms made everything worth it. Everything was worth it. All the doctor visits I had, because the last 2 months I was going in like twice or 2 to 3 times a week, getting monitored constantly, and I would do it all again. So yeah, if you're watching this and you're pregnant, you will stick it through, and it will all be worth it. Your daughter, son will make it all worth it, and it will all be better. But yeah, that was my labor story, and stay tuned for my next video. I have more. I have another birth story coming up. Like and subscribe. See you next time.